which I didn't realize. So I'm going to start again. So this is Kathy, and I am talking about time management. So I think I ended up with maybe creating a schedule and looking at your week and month ahead and try to figure out your daily or monthly schedule and how you can incorporate things that you can use to take care of yourself in that schedule. So keeping track of kind of what you have to do for yourself and your work and what you can do for your kids. And I know with running my own business, I have to make sure that I work time into my schedule to take care of things for that. So that's something that I've had to work on over time to make sure that I have the time and energy to do that, along with my job as a nurse practitioner. So when you look at your schedule and things that have to happen, so you know that you have things that you have to do over time with your kids and your schedule and working and all those things, then you want to make sure that those things that are your priority are on your schedule. So those are things that you can think about. And then when you're looking at your schedule, kind of making sure that you also incorporate the amount of sleep that you're getting and also the other things that you have to do in your life, because there are all kinds of things that you can do to fill up your day. But if it's not those things that are top of your priority, then maybe some of those things you can just let go of and not do. The other thing that you can think about is if you have some sort of project coming up that you want to do or finish. Maybe your kids have a book report. I know this time of year that's not as likely with school activities, but maybe there's some other things. You have some project out in your yard that you want to get done for the summer and you just haven't taken the time to do it. Maybe break it down into small tasks that you can do, over the next month. It doesn't have to be done today, but it can be done over time. And then when you think about procrastination, I know that I'm kind of bad about that, especially when I'm at work. I don't enjoy doing my charting, so I have some procrastination with that. So I find that if I have a lighter day or I go in a little bit earlier to kind of take care of those tasks before I start seeing patients, that helps me to get those done when I'm the freshest, when I'm wanting to do those things, or when I have the most energy to do those things. So when you think about when you have something that you need to do, what time of day can you do it where you have the most energy to be able to do that? So that's the other thing to think about. And then when you think about your schedule and how much time you have, and whether someone asks you to do something else, say somebody at church asks you to take on a project or help in the nursery or help with the kids program or something like that, do you really have time to do that? And maybe you just need to say no, and just say no when you're not able to do that. And I think that if you are able to say no, then it will help you over time so that you learn that it's okay to say no, that it's fine. People aren't going to be upset with you or stop being friends with you or whatever just because you weren't able to do that one thing with them that they wanted you to do. So having that kind of understanding for other people that they aren't really expecting you to go above and beyond. We put that on ourselves. I know I've done that myself. It's like when someone asks me to do something, I feel like I should do it, but maybe I don't have to do things that I just don't have time or energy to do. And I'm learning now, with the work that I've done over the last couple of years, I'm learning that it's okay to say no, and I can, not do things that will make me have less energy and less compassion with the people and things that I have to do for my life and my job, because there are certain things that we do that are important enough that we need to be able to have the time and energy to do those things. So if you want to kind of think about that over time, kind of, take some time to think about what it is that your life would be, what it has in it, how you're going to spend the time to do the things that you want to do, and how can you accomplish the things that you really want to do, and how can you let go of things that you don't need to do. So learning to say no is a big thing. The other thing is learning to delegate or outsource things that you don't personally have to do, or maybe you can have your kids or your spouse or other family members help to do some of the things that need to be done that you don't have to do. There are a ton of things that we as women take on that we think we have to do because we do it the best, or it won't get done right if somebody else does it. But I think being able to let go of that and not be so much of a perfectionist, thinking that everybody else can't do it as well as you do, or I'm the only one that can do that. Having that kind of mentality makes it difficult to have the free time to do things for yourself. Because that's the ultimate goal of kind of what I'm talking about, is you take the time for your job, your family, your kids, your church, maybe you're in school and taking time to do classwork. So when do you fit the time in for yourself to make sure you're getting enough sleep? Maybe just taking a walk for a little bit of exercise and stress relief, listening to some music. All of those things are just as important as having all of those things on your list to do. And make sure that you are taking some time where you are taking a break. So what does that mean? Maybe during your day, in the middle of the day, if you're at work, if you're able to get away for 5 or 10 minutes and just listen to some music or eat some food or go to the bathroom. Maybe you have to sit in the toilet, sit in the bathroom for a few minutes just to have a moment to yourself. I know where I work, the nurses have these little call button things. It's called Voicera that they can't hardly get away from. And I challenge that people could ask someone else to cover their Voicera or their call button or whatever it's called where you are, so that you can have a moment to yourself and not hear a bunch of alarms all the time. I think that's something that we as nurses are kind of not the best at, is making sure that when we need the space or time to unwind, or something's going on with one of your patients, just walking away and taking a moment, even if it's just a couple of minutes, to unwind and kind of take care of the emotions that you have over something happening is so important. And I think being able to talk to other nurses, maybe coworkers that you have, or someone else in your family, it's all of those kind of stressors with working and being a mom or just being a nurse itself. All of those things are so stressful. So just figuring out where you can do things to recharge and be able to have the energy just to keep going and keep doing what you're doing. So then you want to just kind of regularly assess what your schedule is, where you are with how you're feeling, your stress levels, and what you need to do to reduce your stress and have a better life. And I think ultimately we all want to be happy and healthy and have a life that we enjoy and love and do things that we enjoy and love. And I think prioritizing those things should be at the top of the list to figure out what are those things that you're most want to accomplish or do from a day-to-day basis. Okay, so I'll talk again next week. I put a poll in with the other video. I'm not sure if that will show up. I'll try to look at that, and if it doesn't, I'll just add a poll. I just want some kind of ideas about what to do next and where you are having issues with time management and having the time to do things that you want to do. So just give me some ideas below this video, how you do with your time management and maybe struggles that you have, so I can be sure and address that in the next video that I do. Okay, see you later.